There is a moment every British household knows. You open the dishwasher after a full cycle, reach in for a glass, and find it still cloudy, or still greasy, or still covered in the same dried pasta sauce it went in with. You run the cycle again, it happens again, and then one morning, 3 years into ownership, it stops draining, or stops starting, or throws up an error code that nobody at the customer service line can explain on a machine that cost you £450 and has been used twice a day since you bought it. You call a repair engineer. He comes out, looks at it for 10 minutes and tells you the pump motor has failed, or the control board, or the drain assembly, and he slides you a quote that starts at £180 just for the part before his labour, before the call-out charge that the manufacturer charges separately just for showing up, on a machine that cost £450. That is not a repair. That is the industry telling you your machine has reached the end of its commercially useful life. The machine did not decide that. The manufacturer decided it before you ever handed over your card. Today we name the 5 brands running this calculation at your expense, and then we name the 5 that are not. Before we dive in, comment where you are watching from and click subscribe. Here is the context that explains why Britain specifically takes this harder than it should. The UK dishwasher market is dominated by the same 6 corporate groups that control every other major appliance category. Arçelik owns Hotpoint, Indesit and Beko. BSH owns Bosch and Siemens. Electrolux owns AEG and Zanussi. Samsung and LG operate independently. When 6 entities control what appears to be a competitive market, the competitive pressure to build something genuinely better, something repairable, something designed to last 15 years instead of 5, effectively disappears. The brands are not competing for your long-term loyalty. They are managing your replacement cycle. The specific British problem is hard water. Approximately 60% of England has hard water, concentrated in the south, the Midlands and the east. Hard water accelerates mineral buildup inside a dishwasher's spray arms, pump and heating element at a rate that soft water regions never experience. It shortens the lifespan of components, it blocks jets, it calcifies heating elements, and it gives manufacturers a convenient explanation for failures that are, in many cases, rooted in component quality and design decisions made long before the machine reached a hard water area. There is also a servicing problem specific to the UK outside London and major cities. Authorised service networks for several major brands are thin. In rural areas, wait times for a manufacturer authorised repair engineer run to 3 and 4 weeks. Third-party parts for certain brands are discontinued within 2 years of a model leaving production. And the right to repair legislation that came into force in July 2021, which was supposed to guarantee parts availability for 7 to 10 years, contains no cap on what manufacturers can charge for those parts. A pump motor for a Samsung dishwasher retailing at £449 costs £131 as a replacement part on Samsung's own website, before a £149 call-out charge before labour. The law passed. The pricing did not change. This ranking is built on 4 things. The which. Magazine Dishwasher Reliability Survey conducted in July 2025 covering 3,845 dishwasher owners across 7 years of ownership, Consumer Reports. November 2025, reliability analysis of 77,000 dishwashers across 27 brands, purchased between 2015 and 2025. Real-world repair call data from independent UK engineers who work on these machines after the warranty expires. And parts availability and pricing research, because a dishwasher is only as repairable as the supply chain behind it. Around 21% of dishwashers in the Consumer Reports survey had broken down or stopped working as expected. The most frequently reported problem, a dishwasher no longer cleaning properly, affects 9% of machines, not draining 7%, not drying 7%. These are not edge cases. These are systematic failures across a category the UK market spends hundreds of millions of pounds on every year. Some of the brands named in the next section would strongly prefer this video did not exist. That is the correct outcome. A dishwasher used to be a simple machine, a pump, A heating element, a spray arm, a timer, a door seal. A competent engineer could diagnose any fault on a 1980s dishwasher in 20 minutes and fix it with parts that cost under £30 from any stockist in the country. The machines ran for 15 to 20 years, not because consumers were more careful, because the machines were built to be fixed. That assumption shaped every engineering decision that went into them. Then two things happened simultaneously, and they ruined everything. The industry consolidated, removing the competitive incentive to build for longevity, and manufacturers added complexity, digital displays, touch controls, sensor-based programs, Wi-Fi connectivity, multiple wash zones, and auto-dosing detergent systems. That sounds like innovation, but it functions primarily as additional failure points. Every sensor is a component that can malfunction. Every circuit board costs £150 to replace. Every proprietary part is a component that the manufacturer controls the price of entirely. And the consumer equates complexity with quality, which is precisely what the manufacturers are counting on. The control board is the modern dishwasher's most expensive and earliest failure point. A replacement on a mid-range machine typically costs between £120 and £200 for the part alone before labour, before call-out, on a machine that costs £400 at retail. The manufacturer knew when that board would fail. They priced the replacement accordingly. That is not a coincidence. That is a pricing strategy. Worst number 1, Samsung. Samsung makes a dishwasher that looks genuinely impressive in a showroom. The Stormwash models have strong spray pressure, elegant design, and a feature list that reads well on a product card. Nobody walks past a Samsung dishwasher in Currys and thinks they are looking at a reliability problem. The reliability problem becomes clear between years 2 and 4. Samsung dishwashers carry well-documented failure patterns repeating across model ranges and years of manufacture. The LC error code, a false leak detection triggered by oversensitive sensors that cannot distinguish between an actual leak and minor condensation in the base tray, is reported consistently across the DW80DJ, DW80K, DW80M, DW80N and Stormwash lines. The error stops the machine entirely and requires engineer intervention. One owner on the Samsung community forum paid to have the overflow sensor replaced, only for the identical fault to return 4 years later, beyond warranty, with a repair quote of £500 on a machine bought for £600. In the UK, Samsung's call-out charge is £149 before any parts or work. A pump motor costs £131 from their own website. Total before labour £280 on a £449 machine. The maths eliminates repair as a rational option at almost every failure point. Consumer Reports' November 2025 survey and the July 2025 survey by the magazine Which of 3,845 UK owners both place Samsung in the lower reliability tier. The service network outside major UK cities is thin. Parts availability on discontinued models is inconsistent. It looks extraordinary. The reliability data says otherwise. Worst number 2, Hotpoint. Hotpoint was once the default British kitchen brand. Trusted, affordable, everywhere. That reputation is what the current product range is still trading on. The engineering behind it is largely gone. Hotpoint is now owned by Arcalic, which acquired the brand following Whirlpool's European operations sale in 2024. The Yate manufacturing plant in South Gloucestershire, Hotpoint's last UK production site, closed in December 2024 after 104 years of operation. The brand British families grew up with now manufactures in Italy, Poland and Turkey under new ownership. A May 2025 Fix My Appliance report places Hotpoint among the worst performers for early failure, with owners reporting breakdowns after only 14 to 18 months. Nearly 1 in 5 machines needs repairing within 2 years. Recurring complaints are consistent: clogged filters that are difficult to access, random electronic faults, and racks that warp and corrode well before the machine's potential lifespan. Which 2025 consistently places Hotpoint in the lower reliability tiers for dishwashers, a brand living off a reputation it stopped earning some time ago. Worst number 3, Beko. Beko presents a specific challenge because the reliability data does not place it at the absolute bottom. Engineers do not describe Beko machines as disasters, they describe them as adequate, which is precisely the problem for a machine you're going to run twice a day for the next decade. The DN26410 and similar mid-range models carry warranty claim rates of around 22%, more than 1 in 5 machines that generate a claim within the guarantee period. Persistent leaks, weak water pressure, and pump motors that fail before the warranty expires are consistent complaints across consumer platforms and repair forums. Beko is part of Arçelik, the same group that owns Hotpoint and Indesit. Platform sharing and component harmonization across that group is standard corporate practice. As Beko's engineering decisions are increasingly made in the same boardrooms as those brands, the reliability differentiation will narrow, watch the which data over the next 3 years. The trajectory is visible, adequate for now, inadequate for a 10-year purchase. Worst number 4. Indesit. Indesit and Hotpoint are effectively the same machine. Both are owned by Arçelik, and they share engineering platforms, components, and in many cases, factories. The badge is different, but the underlying machine is largely the same. When you walk away from a Hotpoint and look at an Indesit thinking you have comparison shopped, you have not. You have looked at the same product twice. The which. Survey data places Indesit consistently in the lower reliability tiers. Owner reviews from 2024 and 2025 on AO.com and Trustpilot report software glitches that freeze wash cycles mid-run, and manufacturer replacements sometimes take over 3 weeks. The specific failure pattern is electronic rather than mechanical. The control board architecture on lower tier models is not robust. When it fails, parts availability from Arçelik is inconsistent. An Indesit dishwasher with a control board of fault in year 3 presents a repair bill that makes replacement the only economically rational choice, and that is exactly what the manufacturer's pricing structure is designed to achieve. Worst number 5. Hisense. Hisense has expanded aggressively into the UK dishwasher market on a competitive pricing. The entry price is genuinely low. The features list is long for the cost. The long-term ownership picture is the problem. Independent engineers describe the printed circuit board as Hisense's most common early failure point, consistent with the pattern seen in their fridge and washing machine ranges. Part supply in the UK is inconsistent. When a printed circuit board fails and the replacement is on a multi-week backorder from a Chinese supply chain, the machine is written off. On a machine bought for £300, a £150 repair bill that cannot be executed is the worst possible outcome. A call-out fee, a week of hand washing, and then a new machine anyway. A low entry price is not a bargain if the machine reaches end of commercial life at year 4. The total cost of ownership over 10 years is what matters. Hisense rarely wins that calculation. Before we get to the 5 brands actually worth owning, drop a comment right now, tell me the brand, what year you bought it, and what failed first. My prediction is that a significant number of you are going to say it was the pump or the control board. I am also going to predict that many of you will say it happened between years 2 and 4. Just close enough to feel like normal wear. Just far enough past the warranty to make the repair your problem. That is not coincidence. That is engineering aligned with a commercial outcome. Best number 1. Bosch. Bosch is the answer to the question that most British households are actually asking. Not the most expensive machine you can buy, the most reliable machine you can buy at a price that does not require a financial conversation. Consumer Reports' November 2025 reliability survey gives Bosch a score of 98 out of 100 on its benchmark series, the highest in the entire survey of 77,000 dishwashers, which July 2025 places Bosch at the top of UK reliability rankings across multiple model tiers. Independent repair call data from over 33,000 real service calls in 2025 shows Bosch's service rate among the lowest of any mainstream brand. Engineers describe it as a machine they're comfortable working on. Parts are available from BSH Group's UK supply chain, it has a robust pump and control board architecture, and it achieves high first visit fix rates. The Bosch dishwasher does not make a noise you notice, does not throw error codes. It washes the dishes and sits there ready to do it again. That is the product. That is the correct product. One caveat: avoid the entry-level Bosch 100 series. It uses a plastic tub and a simpler pump configuration that does not carry the same reliability profile as the 300 series and above. The price step up is modest. The reliability step up is significant. Best number 2, Miele. Miele is the only dishwasher brand on the UK market that publicly states a designed lifespan and tests to it. Every machine is tested to 20 years of use before it leaves the factory. That is not a marketing claim. It is an engineering standard. Consumer Reports 2025 data gives Miele a score of 98 out of 100, tied with Bosch for the highest reliability score in the entire survey. The auto dust system automatically dispenses the correct detergent amount per cycle, preventing overdosing that accelerates mineral buildup and pump wear over time. The pump, spray arms and door seal are in a different quality category to anything on the mainstream market. Parts are available from Miele's UK network for a minimum of 15 years after production ends. Service response times from Miele's UK engineer network are among the best in the category. The price is real. A mid-range Miele dishwasher costs between £800 and £1,400. The maths below explains why that number is not what it appears. Best number 3, Siemens. Siemens is effectively the same as Bosch. They are sister brands under BSH Group, sharing engineering platforms, manufacturing facilities and components. The reliability track record is effectively the seal. Which magazine and independent repair data show the same performance profile as Bosch across comparable model tiers. If you are choosing between the two at similar specifications, choose based on price and aesthetics. Both are the right answer. Best number 4, AEG. AEG is owned by Electrolux, which also owns Zanussi. Unlike the Hotpoint and Indesit situation, AEG occupies a genuinely differentiated engineering platform within the Electrolux group. The build quality is meaningfully higher than Zanussi. The component specification is better. The Consumer magazine, which in 2025 places AEG in the upper reliability tier for dishwashers. AEG offers a 3-year guarantee as standard on selected machines, one of the longest in the mid-premium UK market. That is not a promotional offer. That is the manufacturer putting its own money on the table. For a family that wants demonstrably better reliability than the mainstream market without committing to Miele pricing, AEG is the correct step. Best number 5, John Lewis own brand. The John Lewis own brand dishwashers are manufactured by the third-party partners, primarily from the BSH group, to a specification John Lewis controls and guarantees. The key differentiator is not the engineering, it is the guarantee. 2 years is standard, with customer service infrastructure for claims that is substantially better than any mainstream appliance brand. For a consumer in the £350 to £550 bracket who wants a meaningful warranty, and a retailer that will actually honour it without a fight, the John Lewis own brand range represents genuine value. The underlying machine specification is solid. John Lewis is not owned by Arcelor, Haier, or any of the corporate groups that have systematically stripped repairability from the mainstream market. The caveat is, do not confuse the John Lewis own brand range with branded machines sold through John Lewis. Hotpoint sold at John Lewis is still Hotpoint. The own brand range is the specific recommendation. Here is the maths the industry does not want you to run. Option 1, a mainstream dishwasher from the worst list at £450. Real-world lifespan 3 to 5 years before major failure. The control board fails, repair quote, £280 to £350 before labour. Beyond economical repair, you buy another machine. 4 years later, the same thing happens again. Over 12 years, 3 machines, 3 delivery charges, 2 call-out payments. Total well over £1,600. Option 2, a Bosch 300 series at £650, lifespan 10 to 12 years. 1 spray arm call in year 9 at £45. Total over 12 years under £700. Option 3, a Miele at £1,100. Designed lifespan 20 years. Parts available for 15 years. Total over 20 years, £1,100 plus minor maintenance. Per year, £55. The mainstream machine replaced 3 times, costs more than £100 per year. The Miele costs more than twice the mainstream machine on the sticker. It costs less than half when you count every year it runs. Nobody puts that calculation on the display stand. Rule 1. Check the guarantee length before you check the price. A 1-year guarantee is the manufacturer telling you exactly how long they are confident the machine will run. A 3-year guarantee is a manufacturer putting its own money on the table. Treat it as the most honest communication the brand will ever make about its own product. Rule 2. Find the cost of the pump motor and the control board before you buy. Search the model number and the words pump motor and PCB on the manufacturer's website and on eSpares. If either component costs more than 30% of the purchase price, the economics of repair are destroyed at first major failure. That is not an accident. That is the product design. Rule 3. The filter tells you everything. Some filters are removable and cleanable in 30 seconds. Others require partial disassembly to reach. Check filter access before you buy. A manufacturer who makes the filter hard to clean has told you something true about how they think about long-term ownership. The mainstream dishwasher sold to British families today is built to a specification that makes replacement inevitable before it reaches its potential lifespan. The control board was priced to eliminate repair as an option. The pump motor was sourced to meet a quarterly earnings target, not a 15-year service life. The warranty was set to expire just before the failure pattern the manufacturer already knows about. 5 brands are running that calculation. 5 are not. Now you know which is which. If this video just saved you from a £450 mistake, subscribe now and share it with anyone about to buy a new dishwasher. That is all.